Mate, we have seen Manchester United waste so much money over the years. We're talking hundreds of millions. We're probably the best at it in the league, to be honest. So I'll tell you what, I want to talk about what I'm seeing this season because something is finally happening at our football club, and it's basically the cornerstone of any successful team in the Premier League. There really has been no shortage of things to moan at when it comes to Manchester United this season. This isn't going to be one of those videos. I'm genuinely going to be talking about something that I think we're seeing happen just hasn't happened at this bloody football club, and it's been such a blocker of progress and the concept of success coming back to our club. Let me talk about recruitment, all right? Because Ineos, hey, there's a protest going on before the Fulham game, rightly so, against the ownership of this football club. There are so many things that they have got wrong. Recruitment, I don't think, is one of them, all right? Now, when you look at the Premier League table, you can see here, I've already spoken about this before, so I don't need to repeat that in this video. I'm actually going to speak about individuals. Only Arsenal and City have scored more goals than us this season. If our defence was significantly better, we're much higher up the table. But goal scoring has been improved, and that was the main aim. And I want to speak about Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko, Dorgu, Heaven, and a few others. But Mbeumo is definitely top of this list. This is why United paid the premium for signing Premier League proven players, because not only are we seeing Mbeumo as our top scorer, our main goal threat across the course of the season, specifically we're seeing him be a big game player and deliver when United need it, whether it's Anfield in the second minute scoring the first goal, whether it's City in the 65th minute scoring the first goal, whether it's away at Arsenal taking advantage of an opportunity, clinical, and those moments change games. And United, all too often, haven't had enough of these big game players coming up in the big moments, because when you go into those derbies, or you're playing at Anfield, or you're playing Arsenal at the Emirates, you aren't going to have a wealth of opportunities. You're going to need someone to take those chances, and he has been clinical. Look, there's only 4 players in the Premier League who've actually scored more goals than Mbeumo this season. The way this is going, I expect him to finish maybe in the top 5? Top 3 maybe? I don't quite know. But this is somebody who came in with the expectation that, oh, he's Premier League proven, he's experienced. Is he going to be able to lead by example? He absolutely is. And Cunha, I can put alongside him. Now, I think Mbeumo has been the more impressive of the two players. But again, we're talking about players' impact in the big games. I speak about Liverpool, and I remember Cunha's last 15 minutes and how he drove the ball forward, held it towards the edge of our own box, and actually gave United an outlet when we were getting penned in. Then you're looking at the City game. He didn't start that game. He came on towards the end, but I think he impacted that game when he came on as well. Same as Arsenal. It's the horrible stat. This Cunha's goal was actually our first goal in the Premier League this season by a substitute. That's how ineffective our subs have been. Amram, you know how he did his subs. It was centre back for centre back. A lot of the times it was wing backs as well. But Cunha delivering as well. They're not quite at the level that Mbeumo has, but he's been an excellent signing. So 2 players there who, for Manchester United, have big expense, but have delivered straight away. And signings delivering straight away, that's just not something that we are used to. We've seen so much money wasted on players that come with promise, that maybe even get your goal or 2 at the start, and then fizzle and fade away. But United this season are positive football, the things we're doing right. Cunha and Mbeumo have been a big part of it. And you know, one thing I'm really grateful for as well, both of those 2 more senior players, Premier League proven, experienced players, playing well, scoring goals. It takes a little bit of the spotlight and a little bit of the pressure away from Sesko. So you can bet your bottom dollar if United, if Brian Mbeumo wasn't, scoring all those goals in the Prem and hadn't scored it at Liverpool and City and Arsenal, there would have been more spotlight on the fact that Sesko hasn't scored enough goals for United. I think he scored 5 so far in all competitions. I think Mbeumo scored 8 or 9, and Cunha scored around about 5. But I'm happy for the fact that Sesko can kind of operate quietly while he still settles in, and that's down to those 2 delivering. And then around that, different types of signings. What I mean about the recruitment paying off. This isn't a captain hindsight, or maybe it is partly captain hindsight. About Dorgu. Can I say about Dorgu? Like, mate, that sucks so much. That really is cruel. For him to have that injury at this point, it sucks. Nothing else you can say about it. Really cruel. And I hope he comes back. It's pretty much that's the season over for him. If he comes back at the 11th of April, having missed 2.5 months with a hamstring problem, it's going to take him ages to get back to that sort of level of sharpness that he had. I think the season's kind of done. But Dorgu, a different type of signing. 20 million from Lecce, 20-year-old, ease him in, let him develop. And now he is developing. Aiden Heaven, this is the type of signing we'd all love United to make more of. And if you combine these sorts of £1 million, pull a gem out from an 18-year-old, we're trying it again with Christian Orozco. A little bit different because I suppose he's coming from Colombia. But Aiden Heaven was cherry-picked and spotted. And it was very good strategy from United to do so. Now, we all know what United are going to be doing in the summer. They are looking at the playbook, right? They've made the playbook here. No, wrong one. Let me get the right photo. They've made the playbook here. We know that signing the right Premier League experienced players is the right strategy. Boom. They're going to be doing the same thing in midfield. It's not rocket science. It's expensive science. It's science that comes with a premium. But I agree with it. And it worked with Mbeumo and Cunha, and it's not too much of a surprise that it did. It's a bit of a rarity for United fans to sit here, because when it comes to a club moving forward from where they were last year, recruitment is ultimately the thing that drives it. If you get better players in, you can be a better team than you were the year before. Ta-da! I know, incredible. But at the same time as this, I'm also really happy that United are sitting on the sidelines and just watching these sorts of signings being made. Will it improve Spurs in the short term? Maybe. Maybe they'll have a slightly better second half of the season. Maybe. Do I think in a year's time that the same conversation is going to be... No, absolutely not. Less than a year's time, Spurs fans are going to be questioning whether that was the right deal. It's going to be that short dopamine rush, and it might improve you in the short term, but it won't be a long-term strategy. That's why United are waiting. And, well, if you've seen the games against City and Arsenal, this midfield is capable of delivering enough to get United into the Champions League this season. Let's find out. But it makes the world of difference when the players you've gone out and spent big money on can deliver in their first season at United. It's a rarity as far as this football club goes. So, over 50% of our signings that we've made since Fergie retired, I can't be bothered to do a full list, have not really fully delivered in their first season. Some maybe have grown into it, sure. But Mbeumo and Cunha, straight away, have been doing that and allowing Šeško the room to breathe. I hope the same thing can happen in midfield, because if it does next season, then this team's going to take a massive step forward. But even this season, we have taken a step forward in terms of the recruitment, in terms of getting it right, and in terms of the impact they can have straight away.